Good evening and thanks for watching. I'm Devin Bartolotta. Charisse is off tonight. Lawyers representing EssenceFest issued a cease and desist letter to a local business they say used its trademark to mislead customers. And it's cracking down on other corporations it says is taking advantage of the festival's reach. Our Whitney Miller explains.
Friday, we obtained a copy of a temporary restraining order demanding the New Orleans bookstore Baldwin Company and Lit Diaries LLC to cease and desist using its trademark to promote and host an event highlighting authors and artists and celebrity meet and greets. That TRO was dated June 25th. Friday morning, Baldwin Co. posted on Instagram announcing all Lit House events happening on June 30th at the bookstore were canceled. The announcement sparked outrage and concern from followers of the store. In an open letter, Baldwin Co.'s owner said he received the TRO Friday morning and says his business is being unjustly targeted, saying in part he's, quote, appalled and deeply offended by these actions, particularly considering the unconstitutional nature of clean zone ordinances and the unjust targeting of our establishment. Clean zones are areas around EssenceFest events where other events and vendors are banned. He went on to say clean zone ordinances disrupt the social and economic activities of the local community, stifling growth and development, and infringe upon the rights of local business owners and the entire community. But an attorney representing EssenceFest says while clean zones play a role in the cease and desist, his client's concerns are bigger than that.
This event by this particular promoter at this bookstore falsely advertised to the public that they were an official Essence Festival event. They falsely advertised that they were partnering with Essence to put this event on.
According to Williams, Essence found out about the event from authors they tried to book for the festival.
So what's much, much worse is that the promoter in this case, Lit Diaries, the Lit Diaries event in Baldwin Books, they were charging authors to be a part of this event. Essence Festival doesn't stand for that.
And Baldwin isn't the only one getting shut down. Last week, Essence filed a lawsuit against Spotify for using its trademark to promote an event around Essence.
Spotify or no company, including Spotify, should be allowed to come in, exploit, take advantage of, and capitalize on all of the goodwill that the hardworking men and women at Essence, all the work that they do to put on the largest festival in the city.
In New Orleans, Whitney Miller, Eyewitness News.
A lawyer for Baldwin Company told WWL-TV they plan to file pleadings in court next week on behalf of the bookstore. We also reached out to the promoter in this case for comment on the allegations. They were misleading Black authors. We have not received a response.
All right. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome. Welcome. All right. You all are tuning into the hottest live stream on Sunday. This is Random Topic Sundays here. Random Topic Sundays here on channel G Booth 786. Whoever you are, wherever you are, I hope you're blessed and doing safe. Tonight we are talking about the battle over Essence Fest. First off, give me a thumbs up in the chat. How are you all doing today? Give me a like. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen, and let me know that you are in here. We're talking tonight about Essence Fest. Now, I'm in New Orleans, and usually around the 4th of July weekend, outside of barbecues and swimming parties, and block parties, which are here, this is Essence Fest, which is one of the largest festivals. I think the largest festival in the city of New Orleans. That is a big economic boom for the city. But also for the local businesses that are here, because they benefit from the Essence Fest as well. And at least that's how it's usually are. You know, we have people going to the seminars. You have people, of course, that stay by the warehouse district at the hotels there that'll book, and they go to these seminars at the convention center. They also are going to the concerts that are from Thursday to Sunday, because there's a welcome party that happens on Thursdays when Essence is in town. Now, I didn't do Essence Fest this year. I've been a part of Essence Fest. I've done Essence Fest probably since I was about 17 years old. When I remember seeing Magic Johnson at one of those seminars, those empowerment seminars, and they were good. Some of them are good, although as of lately, the seminars I've seen and stuff, some of the speakers I went last year. It was good to see some of the uh, actors, and they did a seminar on police brutality. There are some benefits to it, but there are some I'm just like, yeah, I'm passing on that. I saw Magic John. They don't have. They had Al Sharpton speaking once at one of the seminars. I think he comes out all the time. I'm not frankly interested in that. I've done the comedy concerts that they have actually because Paul Mooney and Dick Gregory, God rest their souls, they actually, uh, over 11 years ago, they did a concert, a comedy show right at the W, which is on Poydras, right there at the W. They did a show there, and I got them to autograph my book. I took a picture with them. That was great. I would not so there are some positives about Essence. They have this year, by the way, they're honoring the 50th anniversary of hip hop, and I've seen all of their concerts this past week have been hip hop artists. Yesterday they had Ice Cube and the West Coast rappers. They also had the Jermaine Dupri, Big Boy from Outkast, and Jill Scott. And Jill Scott, she can sing, but Jill Scott was cursing so much. How you motherfuckers? I thought she was doing a Def Jam. What's up with you motherfuckers? How you motherfuckers doing? She was doing all of that. I was waiting for her to do that microphone trick. I saw it. You can actually watch the EssenceFest on Hulu if you want, and you can see it there. But I didn't watch that part. I was falling asleep, honestly. I know Missy Elliott was closing out, and tonight they got Meg Thee Stallion that's closing out EssenceFest. Hulu has been broadcasting the last couple of years. But meantime, what you got going on, and what we're going to be talking about essentially is what's happening with this Black-owned bookstore, which is out in Marigny, called Baldwin Company. They had this event that they were doing during this time of EssenceFest. Now, what you have here, and I'm talked about businesses and EssenceFest. Essence, just like I believe Essence is owned, Black owned again. I could be wrong, but I know there was a time when it wasn't. But Essence Magazine, which I believe is the company that owns EssenceFest that started, they are now okay. Their magazine, when it was created in 1970 by Ed Lewis and a few others, it was designed for Black women, and that's essentially who EssenceFest appeals to. And when you have now that they're doing the Essence Music Festival, which is actually called, and they started that in 1994. That's always been in New Orleans, except during Katrina back in 05 when it went to Houston. And essentially its job and what their purpose is to try and get, is essentially it's to showcase musical talent. But also for businesses here in New Orleans, it's very important when we have Black-owned businesses, especially during Essence Fest, because we have people that will patronize those. And I think the people at Baldwin Company had an event with some authors. They were trying to essentially promote their business, permit something. There was actually going to be a block party, I believe, located there at Essence Fest because they are a company, a corporation. They put a restraining order, a cease and desist letter first, and then they filed a temporary restraining order on Friday. Now, you all have heard what happened. I have the actual petition for a restraining order, a TRO that they filed. And I'm going to put a link here, but I'm going to show it to you. They are the ones that are affected by this. And I think, and I'm going to give my opinion. Now, what they have, Essence, which it is a Black-owned company, and that's the thing, it is a company, they have their name trademarked. And so, in part because you have this clean zone ordinance that City Council enacted this past month. I'm going to read that to you, but you see here, the parties, the petitioners, was Essence Festival Productions and Essence Communications Incorporated. Now they're licensed to do business in their principal place of business is in New York, but they're authorized to do business here in New Orleans, Louisiana. That's what it says here. They also have Essence Festivals Productions LLC, which I believe is the LLC for Essence that does things here. And what they essentially did with this ordinance that J.P. Burrell authored, and you saw the video, it gives these companies, this company in particular, basically a monopoly to prevent people from vendors from selling things in this area, which they specifically name. They say it's a clean zone, and from Earhart Boulevard to Calliope Street, Religious Street to Orange Street, proceeding across the Mississippi River along to the West Bank Levee, continuing across the Mississippi River to the Elysian Fields Avenue, North Claiborne Avenue to Tulane, North Broad to Earhart Boulevard there too, and the Mississippi River. So everything that is in that area, which is basically a large section of New Orleans, anything close to the Superdome, anything close to the Convention Center, things of that nature. The Section 2, so we're talking about going to Algiers and coming back to Tulane Avenue, North Claiborne. As it gets closer to that area, it prohibits any type of advertising that's not authorized by EssenceFest. Anybody selling stuff. So people selling T-shirts, people selling merchandise. Because when I would go to, these are things that you would see when I was coming from, when I would go to EssenceFest a few years ago, you see vendors, it's not uncommon. You see people that'll be selling T-shirts with the artist pictures in front of it. 2016 EssenceFest. I still have my Prince shirt from 2016. I also have the EssenceFest 20 shirt when Prince came. That was the last year. Well, it wasn't the last year Prince was alive, but it was in 2014. So he died a year and a half later in 2016, and almost 2 years. And I still had that. But what they alleged, and you saw, so that's what this ordinance is doing and punishing them. Now, J.P. Morrell, as you saw in his statement, he was shocked and surprised. He claims he's shocked and surprised by it because this was not, it's sad that you had a Black-owned business that got shut down because of EssenceFest, because he's saying that's not what this ordinance was supposed to do, but that's essentially what it did. This law, this basically gives Essence a monopoly on the city. Now, it's set to, and it lasts from June 26th all the way June 27th, but it was actually the 26th when this whole thing started. It says here, this temporary prohibition is in effect from 6 a.m. Monday, June 26th until Monday, July 3rd for a whole week. And if you violate any provision of this, the fine is $500 or imprisonment for not more than 6 months or both. So it's criminal act if you violate their trademark. You can just read this here. And I had a chance to read this, but what they're saying is that essentially, I think it sounds like the people who promoted this event, such as Lit Diaries and Miss Newhouse and companies, they're saying they used the Essence trademark, that they were aware of it in violation of the nature and used it to promote their business and their event that was going on. Now, I haven't seen the answer to this temporary restraining order because they call it the Lit House at EssenceFest. And this event was to occur off of Elysian Fields, which is where Baldwin Company is. Now, let's be real honest about it. Now, I respect the right of trademark. I'm a trademark holder myself. I certainly wouldn't want anybody to use something without my permission if my name was attached to it, because of anything that could happen, anything, someone gets hurt, someone gets injured. Of course, the lawsuit would name you. If something happened with, as I can see from that standpoint, if there was something that occurred, it could look bad on Essence name, and people will and do often file lawsuits, then drag people in to do so. But let's be real honest about this. Would this have affected EssenceFest? Does anybody know the difference? Because what you allege with a trademark violation is that there would be confusion. Like, is this event really sponsored by EssenceFest or not? Does EssenceFest actually do book festivals out off Elysian Fields? Now, if you're from New Orleans, you know as well as I do, EssenceFest doesn't go anywhere but except from anything that they're doing is all on in the warehouse district of Ernest H. Morial Convention Center Boulevard. Everything is downtown. Everything is right there. I don't see how this would necessarily have affected EssenceFest, but they allege also in the petition that there was a collection of fees from the author to participate in public ticket sales, which they have. They have emails within their exhibits that they claim and that confirm that was going to happen, that was what was happening. They say it was going to cause brand confusion and damage to its reputation, which you can read here. So if they were charging authors, let's just put it this way, if they were doing something like that, I would say shame on them. But what I'm hearing also is that they're claiming the authors, a few of the authors, if you listen to the video, were actually supposed to sign to be a part of Essence's seminars. They were supposed to do an author event, an event for authors and so forth. And they're saying that created a problem from them, because they're claiming in this paragraph they had believed they had already been booked for an official Essence Festival of Culture event. And authors claim that they believe that the Lit House at Essence Fest was in fact an official Essence Festival of Culture event when it was not. And they had emails supporting that. And they say Essence has suffered irreparable harm as a result of the continued publications. Now, of course, this is typical. I can just tell you from a legal perspective, and I'm not giving you legal advice. This doesn't constitute as an attorney-client relationship, but this is just an attorney giving his knowledge of what he sees. Is that they basically were trying to stop this company, this bookstore, trying to make themselves look good, number one, for Essence Festival. Essence is trying to protect their trademark, but they certainly are squashing the competition. They certainly are. And Lit Diaries, Tamika Newhouse, Baldwin and Company. Now, I haven't seen a response yet, and I think they are going to file a response sometime next week to this, because I'm sure it's impacted their business. They have their exhibits. So what do y'all think? See, my whole thing, yes, I think it does cause, certainly when I look at this ordinance, I think the ordinance is crazy. Say it ain't so. Black Mama is back. She caught alive. What's going on, babe? Much love to you. What's up? I don't see how a bookstore and these companies now, I haven't seen the evidence that shows that authors had paid money from me checking this, but checking this out, I didn't see that, but there were email communications. They have their exhibits like this here. So they call it, now this says Lit House at Essence. And it does look like they have, even though this is in black and white, I can't see it. They clearly have the Essence Fest name. Now, they list a one-day event. You look at here, is a Lit House is a one-day event where Black stories connect with the culture through artist-led conversations, paint parties, and a block party that showcases the talent and creativity of the Black community. Experience the best book signings, art market, and an indie row featuring some of today's emerging writers during this year's Essence Fest. Now, if I hear that, does that sound like that means it's Essence Fest? This is associated with the Essence Festival? That by itself could mean that, hey, we're just doing this event while Essence Fest is going on. That's how I look at it. Now, somebody outside of New Orleans, is it possible they would think that this is associated with Essence Festival? Perhaps. Maybe. Now, this is Essence Fest. This is their actual, this has got to be, because I've seen, this is the trademark here. That's got to be their actual flyer. Now, I'm looking just at that. Now, this is from June 30th. The event that we had here at Lit House does say June 30th, same day. But here there is a line that says where they can sign up to meet readers and connect with thousands of festival attendees. But when I go back and look at this, I didn't see anything where they had to actually sign up. You could visit their website. So and they have further exhibits, because they had people from this exhibit, this email here, if it's authenticated and it's true, says they got calls from publishers that wanted to book what an author was not available. And that authors at the event, there are authors that are going to the event at Baldwin bookstores. Most of the conversations, they say, took place over the phone. So to avoid his say, I'm focusing on the emails we have. They say an author they say Farah Rashawn was local and said she would be interested. The publisher emailed back and said that they were participating in the Baldwin Books Essence Fest event. We had heard about it on calls, but we were told it was canceled. After receiving the email from Estelle, we did research and found this on Eventbrite. Now they say on Eventbrite, it does not list it as an official, it says in quotations, it is not an Essence Fest official event. We do know that publishers and authors were told Essence Fest plus Baldwin Books. They're also saying one lady, a Tiffany Jackson, who's a big author, one of the biggest YA authors, was doing the Baldwin event. So and that she was told that this was an Essence event. So what it sounds like, just from what I'm reading, is that EssenceFest, and just looking at this, EssenceFest was trying to book these authors for their event, and instead they authors went to this Baldwin event, and they're saying because they believed it was associated with EssenceFest. Now, like I said, it is possible. But all of this, ladies and gentlemen, this all boils down to competition. When McDonald's moves into the neighborhood, McDonald's tries to get Burger King out the neighborhood, not by going over there and burning Burger King down. You know what they do? They set up another McDonald's a few blocks over. Now, were they promoting it as in the guise of Essence? Well, Ceci, could be. Could be. But I know this for a fact. This is more about, this is definitely a competition thing. It's to eliminate the competition. Now, I find it's a shame, it's sad, because there are more emails actually. I find it is a shame because this was a local event. This was a local business that was obviously trying to make money. Clearly, they're not doing it out of the goodness of the heart. Let's get that out the way. When they promote these things, and yes, they say it's Black owned, it's not out of just doing it for charity. They certainly are trying to make money off of this event. But all businesses, whether it's downtown New Orleans, whether it's well, maybe some of the businesses, because we got one business actually, when EssenceFest comes in, they close. But look, all the hotels, the Hilton, the DoubleTree, the W, the Holiday Inn, the Embassy Suites, all the restaurants, all of them benefit from having an EssenceFest. So they all do something to try and get people to come. And local businesses, especially Black-owned businesses, because this is a Black event, they want to attract Black people to come to their event, to come to their business, to make money. I do think that this ordinance in and of itself is very broad. I think it is unconstitutional to an extent. There are some issues I have with it because they're essentially saying that Essence Festival, because that's what this clean zone law, this was created for Essence Fest, just from what I'm reading. And I don't know who owns, and let's not forget, I have a lot of issues with Essence, because remember, Essence Fest, or Essence, I should say, was owned by a white man. They had Billy Porter on the cover of the magazine wearing a dress. They promoted, it was completely different from the vision that editors like Susan Taylor had when she ran it back in the 80s and 90s and 2000. It had a class of elegance to it. Same thing with Ebony magazine. It was once elegant. Now it's just ran into the dirt. It's completely different from what it was. But I think that it is BET in particular. Yeah, we know BET's on it. So it's sad when you see stuff like this happening, I think it certainly is a bad. I'll put it this way: even if Essence Fest is in the right with it, and yes, they have a right to trade. They have a right to protect their trademark. From a PR standpoint, it doesn't look good. The optics of it are bad because you're talking about black empowerment, black economics, and yet you're shutting down a black-owned business from doing its job trying to bring people to their company. No, yeah, what Ebony is doing is sad, Ceci. And I can't remember exactly what they did with Michael. You mentioned something about Michael Jackson. I don't know about that, but um, a lot of these black owned, well, I'll just say it like this: many of these black owned businesses, they're cooning and buffooning. They've been on the coon train for a while. BET, we know. And I was talking with my lady today. She talked about how Tyler Perry, maybe he's going to change things. Tyler Perry's not going to change nothing. Tyler Perry already has and produces several shows on BET. What have you seen on from his shows that makes you think, his movies that makes you think it's going to change? His movies are bad. His shows, he writes his own TV shows and has no other black writers, no other black. You write a show called Sisters without having any black woman as a writer on that show. You have The Oval. I've never watched these, but watch these shows. But he's the writer, producer, and director on all of them. He hasn't given the reins to anybody, and y'all think he gonna change shit? Well, I stopped. Well, Ebony, Ebony did Bill Cosby bad. Ebony magazine did Bill Cosby bad when they had that Cliff versus Bill on there, and they even had the editor. Well, she's the former editor now of Ebony on that mockumentary they call "We Need to Talk About Cosby," where she went in on him, and it was just terrible what they did. He said, "You can tell Tyler let go of the writing of the show. It gets stupid." So, what do you mean? You saying that the shows have gotten better? I remember when he had, I get there are soap operas, so they got to make them cheesy and so forth. But yeah, he writes all of it. All the shows are written by him, all of them directed by him. Do y'all think he's gonna actually change BET? If it was Bill Cosby, yeah, Cosby would have. None of the stuff you see today would have been on BET. Bill Cosby had owned it. The ratchetness that wouldn't have happened. Say what you want about Bill Cosby personally, but he was keen on how black folks were treated and how they were. Uh, he was keen on how blacks not only were treated, but also their appearance on television, what they looked like, how they dressed, their education. He was keen on, because image means everything. He was keen on their image. It's like Sprite had that. You remember Sprite had that slogan: "Image is everything. Image is everything. Thirst is better," or something like that. That's what Sprite was, and that's what Bill Cosby was when it came to images. BET as of right now is still owned by whites, and if I'm not mistaken, Essence did become a Black-owned. It's Black-owned now because it's Smith Cecil. No. Okay, so Essence Ventures LLC bought Essence Communications, which is the home of Essence Magazine. They bought it from Time Incorporated. So it is Black-owned, according to this article from OK Player. Yeah, I remember this guy named Richelieu Dennis was the guy who started Essence Ventures. And if you notice, ladies and gentlemen, especially what's happening now, why we are where we are, when you look at this, hold on, I want to just show you this flyer. Look very closely at the top of your screen. You'll see where my mouse is. Essence Festival of Culture, New Orleans, Louisiana, presented by Coca-Cola. This is how Essence makes its money, is because they have sponsors that bring, the sponsors are the ones that throw money for these events. That's what keeps them going. Now, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Walmart, I believe Ford, I can't think of who, I think Johnson & Johnson, all of these companies are part of Essence Fest. Now, I'm gonna lie to you, I enjoy going to Essence Fest, meeting people is always great. I've done some work with 100 Black Men where we've been at the seminars, vendorships. Those are good for connecting with people. It's also good to interact with other people, and there's business opportunities that can be made from it. They shot back in, I think, 2015 Girls Trip for Essence. Essence was basically not just the setting of Girls Trip, it was actually another character of its own. Because all of, outside of it being the venue, that's where the girls interacted with. That's who they met their potential love interest and all that stuff. I know what y'all want to say what you want about Tiffany Haddish's performance. Some people did, and so forth. But the movie was a hit. It was fun, and I'm not gonna lie, it was funny. And Will Packer, Black band, produced it. Malcolm Lee directed it. But that's where we are. So corporate sponsors again are taking over. Have taken over, and even though they may be Black-owned, they partner with Black-owned businesses, and they've always done that. And I believe corporate sponsorship also plays a role in some of these beefs that we see, some of these things that we have seen, maybe in this event as well. Yeah, Danielle never seen it. Just go on FX. If you got FX, you can watch it. And I think that's happening. That's one of the reasons why this has happened. Danielle, I'm gonna holler at you. I gotta call you a little bit later. Holler at you later. It's good seeing you. Yeah, it's no problem. I know you're just here on Sunday because I don't really come on. I don't come on with any regularity again on Sundays. But what do y'all think about this incident with Essence Fest with this cease and desist, the Black-owned bookstore? Does it surprise you? Are you shocked? It doesn't surprise me. Yeah, they're not paying for all of that themselves. The sponsors are sending money. That's how they're able to afford to do this every year. But I'm about to roll out, guys. I wasn't gonna make this a very long live stream. There's a lot that's been going on too in the world outside of this. Did y'all see France is on fire right now? Right now, there's I think a lot's going on in France. They have riots that are going on. Yeah, there was A teen killed by a police stop. The rioters actually set the mayor's home on fire. Let me see if I got videos of it. Hold on. This is going on in France. This is going on in France right now. This is they turn it up in Paris. Oh, oh. They're having a George Floyd moment. Ray. They're arrested. Friday. Mayor's house on fire. Yeah, Paris is supposed to host the Olympics next year. And people like, we don't give a fuck. They're gonna send the Grand Marquis to get the rioters from John Wick 4. The high table has asked for your life. Oh man. So yeah, the French rioters set mayor's wife on home, was fired. So it was a ram raid attack. So what happened was they had a 17-year-old male of Moroccan and Algerian descent was shot by a police officer at a traffic stop, setting off a countrywide revolt over police violence and racism. They say nearly 1,000 people had been arrested. So I gotta look more into this. This is a lot to take in. But yeah, they're rioting. They're upset. Yes, Kendall Jenner will come out and give a flyer, give a flower, and put it on the gun. Who knows? No, Kendall Jenner, it's a she. Danielle, I can tell you ain't got no TV in your house. You don't even know who the Kardashian is. The half a Kardashian at that. I think that's the one that got isn't that the one that got Travis Scott messed up? Travis Scott got fucked up because of her. Is it Kendall Jenner? She's dating him, right? No, or is it Kylie? No, it's Kylie. I can't tell. Yeah, Kendall was dating Devin Booker. That's right, and she the one that fucked up the Phoenix Suns 2021 season. She messed up the Phoenix Sun season because Devin Booker wasn't focused. She broke up with him during the playoffs. That's when he started losing. That's when they got blown out by Golden State. Y'all know Draymond was messing over him. Like, I was with your bed. I was with your bed. Slam dunk. Jenna magic, that Kardashian magic, that's not magic, that's voodoo. That's voodoo, that's hoodoo, Darius. Or poodoo, as I call it. This is their daddy, they taking it in the butt. Oh man, I'm gonna stop this before they get me banned. Well, I'm already shadow banned, what I'm talking about. But look, make sure y'all hit the like, share, and subscribe button. You ain't got no, you don't turn that damn thing on. Your TV got the antennas still, the rabbit ears on it. Your TV still got the, you gotta have one of the kids still hold up one leg and put the piece of foil on that TV. Come on, you almost got it. You almost got it. You gotta be like this. Your baby's one leg in the air. I'm just messing with you. Oh, Danielle. But you don't, so, okay. You didn't know what Jenna. Damn, I was just wondering. Okay. All right. Well, look, I'm gonna wrap this thing up, man. But please make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Donate to the Cash App, PayPal, or Zelle. I appreciate you, Black Mama, for your donations. Also, you can go to Kindle and get the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania versus William H. Cosby. So you don't have your glasses? Okay. Yeah, blame it on the blame it on the glasses. Blame it on the the opticals. Blame it on the who's. Blame it on your penny. Blame it on the blues top seven. Don't see me. Blame it on the opticals. Blame it on the opticals. She messing with the rock. Hey, she messing with Ricky. You ain't sitting, but now I'm pretty. Blame it on the opticals. Blame it on the opticals. Ooh, she know you much. All right, I'm gonna stop. I can't think of nothing else. But yeah, Black Mama, it's good to see you. Black Mama, thank you for your donation. You all have a good one. I will see y'all. I'll see y'all in the next one. I don't know how long I'm gonna keep doing this, man. But make sure y'all smash up the likes, all right? Thank y'all. This was a good discussion, family, man. But it's a shame what's happening out here in New Orleans, but we'll see what'll happen if they have the response. I'd love to actually get in touch. I said I was going to get in touch with, before I get off, with the mother who shot that dude up in Chicago with her attorneys. I'm still looking at that. And maybe we can get the Baldwin Company and also Essence attorneys, if they want to get on here on this channel. I'll be happy to reach out to them later today and see what they're interested in. But y'all stay, be one, be safe, be blessed. I gotta make Darius. I'm gotta make a trip. I probably will make a trip to ATL this month to hit some comedy shows. I certainly would love to see you, meet up with you, brother. So y'all be safe, be one, be blessed. We gotta make it happen. All right, I'll holler. Peace.